Ladies and gentlemen, imagine standing at the end of your life, looking back at everything you've accomplished. What will people say about you? What mark will you have left on the world? Will you have inspired others, made a difference, or created something that lasts beyond your time here? Right now, in this very moment, you are in control of your legacy. You have the power to shape the way you will be remembered and the impact you'll have on the world. But here's the catch. It doesn't happen by accident. Building a lasting legacy takes intention, hard work, and a deep commitment to something bigger than yourself. And if you stick with me today, I promise you'll walk away with the blueprint to not just live your life, but to build something that leaves a footprint on the world long after you're gone. So are you ready to create a legacy that stands the test of time? Let's dive in. When you think about building a legacy, the first question you have to ask yourself is, what is truly important? It's so easy to get wrapped up in chasing temporary success, chasing money, chasing fame, chasing the next big thing. But let me tell you, none of that will matter in the long run. The things that matter most are the things that are built to last, the things that will endure long after you're gone. When you focus on what truly lasts, your legacy is built on something solid, something that holds real value. One of the most important lessons I've learned is that your legacy is not about what you accumulate. It's not about how many things you can collect or how big your house is or how many accolades you get along the way. Your legacy is about the people you touch, the lives you influence, and the values you stand for. The legacy you leave behind is not defined by how much you have, but by how much you give, how much you inspire, and how much you uplift others. When you focus on what lasts, you start to see things differently. It becomes less about the paycheck and more about the people you help. It becomes less about your title and more about the way you serve. Building a lasting legacy is about more than leaving a financial inheritance. It's about leaving behind wisdom, love, and a sense of purpose. People will remember the way you made them feel long after they've forgotten what car you drove or how many properties you own. It's the impact you make in someone's life that will be remembered forever. That's why you need to focus on building relationships that will stand the test of time. You need to prioritize what really matters. Your character, your work ethic, your kindness, and your integrity. Think about the greatest legacies in history, whether you're talking about people like Martin Luther King Jr., Mother Teresa, or even your own parents. What do they all have in common? They focused on what lasts. They didn't focus on fame or fortune. They focused on making a real difference in the lives of others. They built their legacies on things that would endure long after they were gone, on kindness, on love, on justice, and on the impact they had on the people around them. So when it comes to your own life, ask yourself, what do I want to leave behind? What do I want people to remember me for? What impact do I want to have on the world? If you focus on building something that lasts, something that truly matters, you will find that your legacy will be far greater than anything you could ever imagine. And when you look back on your life, you won't be worried about how much money you made or how many things you owned. Instead, you'll be proud of the lives you've touched and the difference you've made in the world. That's the kind of legacy you want to build. Focus on what lasts, and you'll create a legacy that truly endures. Building your legacy requires vision. It's about knowing where you want to go and taking deliberate steps every single day to get there. Vision is what drives you to keep pushing when the road gets tough, when the obstacles seem insurmountable, and when the world tells you to give up. Without vision, you're just wandering. But with vision, you've got direction, and direction is everything. It's like setting a destination in your GPS. Without it, you'll just get lost. But with it, you know exactly where you're headed. The beauty of having a clear vision for your legacy is that it helps you prioritize what truly matters. When you can see your future, you can make better decisions today. And those small, everyday choices compound into something much bigger. You start acting with purpose. You stop wasting time on things that don't serve your greater goals. If you have a vision for the legacy you want to leave, you know how to align your actions with your purpose. Now, that's how lasting legacies are built, not by accidents, but by consistent, intentional action. But let's be real. Having a vision doesn't guarantee things are going to be smooth sailing. In fact, it's almost guaranteed that there will be challenges, setbacks, and tough moments along the way. That's where your commitment to your vision comes in. When things get hard, and they will, you have to hold on to that vision. Your vision is your anchor. It's what keeps you grounded when everything around you is. When I think about the most successful people, they're not the ones who face no obstacles. They're the ones who had the vision to push through when it got hard. They understood that challenges were part of the process and that they could overcome them by staying focused on their ultimate goal. Having a vision also means you're not just living for today, you're living for tomorrow. The decisions you make today, the relationships you build, the work you put in, it all contributes to the legacy you'll leave behind. But this isn't just about the big moments. It's also about the small ones. The little things you do every day to move closer to your vision matter just as much, if not more, than the big, flashy milestone. These little things are the building blocks of your legacy. It's the consistent effort, the day in, day out grind that shows the world who you truly are. The real power of vision is that it allows you to create a roadmap for your life. Without it, you'll drift aimlessly. With it, you have clarity. And when you have clarity, you have confidence. When you know where you're going, you can walk with your head held high, knowing that every step is getting you closer to the legacy you're meant to leave behind. People may not always see your vision right away. They might question your decisions or doubt your path, but as long as you hold true to your vision, you'll be able to see it through to the end. So take the time to define your vision for your legacy. It's not something you can just throw together. It requires thought, intention, and a deep understanding of what matters most to you. But once you have that vision, everything changes. You'll see opportunities where others see roadblocks. You'll find strength when others want to quit. You'll create a life that reflects who you are and what you stand for. And when you leave this world, your legacy will speak for itself. To build a lasting legacy, you must embrace the idea of service. It's not about doing things for your own personal gain. It's about doing things for the greater good. When you serve others, you not only help them, but you also elevate yourself in the process. True fulfillment and lasting impact come from knowing that what you do is making a difference in someone else's life. People don't remember the money you made or the promotions you achieved. They remember how you made them feel, how you helped them when they needed it, and how you lifted them up when they were down. Service is the foundation of every meaningful legacy. Think about the great leaders, the people who have changed the world, whether it's in their communities, their industries, or even across the globe. What sets them apart isn't their personal achievements, but their commitment to helping others. They found a way to use their resources, skills, and influence to elevate others, to make the world a better place, and to create change. Service is what turns a regular life into a legacy. It's what makes a difference. Building your legacy through service is about more than just lending a helping hand when it's convenient. It's about being consistent. It's about choosing to show up even when it's hard, when you don't get the recognition, or when it feels like no one is noticing. Service is about staying committed to your vision of helping others even when no one is watching. It's about choosing to give even when you don't think you have anything left to give. And here's the thing, the more you serve, the more you'll find that you have to give. There's something about giving that opens up your own heart and your own life. It fills you up in a way that no material possession or title ever will. The beauty of serving others is that it doesn't have to be grand gestures. You don't have to go out and change the world in one massive moment. Sometimes it's the little things that matter most. A word of encouragement, a kind gesture, a helping hand when someone is struggling. These are the things that can change lives. And those little moments, those small acts of kindness, build up over time. They create a ripple effect where your actions inspire others to do the same. When you make service part of your daily life, you create a culture of kindness and generosity that extends far beyond your immediate circle. And let me tell you, the more you serve, the more you learn. You learn about others, you learn about yourself, and you gain wisdom that can't be found in books or classrooms. Serving others opens your eyes to the challenges people face, to the struggles they go through, and to the beauty that exists in every person. It teaches you humility, empathy, and compassion. It helps you see the world not just from your own perspective, but from the eyes of others. When you do that, you become a better leader, a better friend, a better family member, and a better person overall. Service also teaches you about resilience. The work you do for others might not always come with immediate rewards, and sometimes it may feel like you're not getting anything in return. But when you focus on the bigger picture and trust in the process, you'll see that the service you give is what will leave a lasting impact. It's not about instant gratification. It's about knowing that your actions are contributing to a legacy that will carry on long after you're gone. In the end, the legacy you build will be defined by the lives you've touched through your service. When you give with a pure heart, when you dedicate your time and energy to helping others, you create something that goes beyond yourself. You create a lasting legacy that lives on in the hearts and minds of those you've served. Service is the true path to building a legacy that matters. It's what makes your impact timeless. Building a legacy also requires the strength to embrace failure. It may seem counterintuitive to think of failure as part of your legacy, but let me tell you something. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. If you want to build something meaningful, something that lasts, you have to understand that failure is a teacher, not an enemy. It's the moments when you fall down that you learn the most about yourself, your resilience, and your capacity to rise again. So many people are afraid of failure. They think that if they fail, it's the end of the road. They see failure as a sign they aren't good enough, that they've made a mistake they can't come back from. But here's the truth. Failure is just a stepping stone on the path to greatness. It's a sign that you're pushing your limits, trying something new, taking risks. And that's exactly what you need to do to build something that lasts. Think about the greatest innovators, the people who've changed industries, the people who've created legacies that endure for generations. Did they get it right the first time? Absolutely not. They stumbled, they faltered, they faced rejection, but they didn't let that stop them. They took the lessons from their failures and used them to fuel their next move. Every time they failed, they learned, adapted, and became better. They understood that failure wasn't the end. It was simply a part of the journey. When you embrace failure, you embrace the idea of growth. You understand that every misstep is an opportunity to learn, to evolve, to improve. Every time you try something and it doesn't work out, you gain wisdom that you wouldn't have had if everything had gone perfectly. Failure helps you understand where you went wrong and what needs to change. It helps you become more resourceful, more creative, and more resilient. But here's the key. How you respond to failure is what matters most. Will you let it defeat you, or will you let it drive you? It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned. It's easy to think that you're not cut out for success when you face setbacks. But the real test is in how you bounce back. When you face a failure, do you stand up, dust yourself off, and keep going? Or do you give up and walk away? That's where your legacy is built, by showing up even after you failed, by continuing to pursue your vision even when it seems impossible. And here's the thing, people will remember how you responded to failure. They'll remember the courage you showed when you got knocked down and how you had the strength to get back up. That's the stuff legacies are made of. People won't remember the failures themselves, but they will remember the way you handled them. They'll remember the resilience, the perseverance, and the determination it took for you to rise after every fall. Failure is not a roadblock, it's a lesson. And once you stop fearing it, once you understand that it's just part of the process, you'll see it for what it truly is, a necessary part of building a lasting legacy. So don't be afraid to fail. In fact, embrace it, learn from it, and use it to build a legacy that will inspire others long after you're gone. Your legacy will be a testament to your ability to rise from failure, to keep going when others might have given up, and to never stop building no matter what. Failure is the fire that forges greatness. And if you're willing to embrace it, you'll leave a legacy that stands the test of time. When it comes to building a lasting legacy, one of the most important things you need to do is stay true to your values. This world is full of distractions, opinions, and pressures that will try to pull you in every direction. The temptation to follow the crowd, to take shortcuts, or to sacrifice your principles for short-term gain is always there. But let me tell you something. Your values are the bedrock of your legacy. They define who you are, they guide your actions, and they are what people will remember you for when you're gone. The choices you make today in the face of challenges, pressures, and temptations will define your legacy tomorrow. It's easy to think that you can compromise your values for a little convenience or success in the short term. But here's the truth. True success and a legacy that lasts are built on unwavering commitment to your principles. Without a strong foundation, the house you build won't stand the test of time. Your values are the foundation. Without them, everything you build will eventually crumble, but with them, you're invincible. Now, I know it's not always easy to stick to your values, especially when the world around you is trying to push you in different directions. There's always pressure to conform, to chase after what everyone else is chasing. But remember this, everyone who has left a lasting legacy didn't get there by following the crowd. They got there by following their own path. They had a vision and they stayed true to it, even when it wasn't popular or easy. They made decisions that aligned with their core values, not with the latest trends or what was expected of them. When you stay true to your values, you become a beacon for others. People are drawn to authenticity. They want to know that the person they're following or the organization they're supporting stands for something real. They want to know that the decisions being made are driven by integrity, not by convenience or self-interest. Your values are what give you the courage to make tough decisions, to stand up for what's right, even when it's not the popular choice. And that's how you build a lasting legacy. It's not just about big heroic moments either. Sometimes it's the small, everyday decisions that show the strength of your values. When you choose to be kind, when you choose to be honest, when you choose to help someone without expecting anything in return, these are the actions that will shape your legacy. Your legacy isn't built in one big moment. It's built in the quiet, everyday moments where you make decisions based on your values, and when you consistently live by those values, you create a ripple effect. People see your integrity, your authenticity, and they want to follow your example. And here's the thing. Staying true to your values doesn't mean you won't face challenges. In fact, it's often the opposite. When you make choices based on your values, you'll find that people won't always understand. They won't always agree, but that's okay. Building a legacy means being willing to stand alone sometimes to make the tough calls that others might shy away from. It's about being willing to sacrifice for the bigger picture, to stay true to your principles, even when it's not easy. Ultimately, it's your values that will carry you through. They will be the compass that guides you when the road gets tough, the anchor that keeps you grounded when the storms of life threaten to shake you. If you stay true to who you are, to what you believe in, you'll leave a legacy that's real, that lasts, and that impacts people in a way nothing else can. Your values are the foundation of everything you build, and if you honor them, you'll create a legacy that stands the test of time. When you're building a legacy, you have to understand the importance of perseverance. Life is full of challenges, obstacles, and setbacks that can make you question your path. There will be moments when you feel like you're hitting a brick wall, when everything seems to be going wrong, and when the dream you're chasing feels like it's slipping further away. But the key to building a legacy that lasts is to push through those tough times. Perseverance isn't just about continuing when things are going well. It's about pressing forward when everything inside you says to give up. The world has a funny way of testing our limits. When you're on the verge of something great, that's when the hardest challenges will come. People who are building something meaningful often face the toughest battles. But here's the secret. It's during these moments that your legacy is being shaped. Every time you keep going despite the odds, every time you refuse to quit when things get tough, you're building something powerful. You're building a legacy of resilience, determination, and unbreakable strength. The journey to greatness is never a straight line. It's filled with bumps, detours, and roadblocks. You're going to face setbacks that feel like they could stop you in your tracks. But here's the thing. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to grow. It's a chance to prove to yourself just how strong you are, just how badly you want this, and just how far you're willing to go to make your dreams a reality. Each setback is a lesson. Each failure is a building block for your future success. Let me tell you something. There's nothing more powerful than the person who refuses to quit. People will try to knock you down. They'll tell you it's impossible, and they'll say you don't have what it takes. But the true measure of your strength is how you respond to that negativity. Will you listen to the doubters? Or will you push forward one step at a time? The people who leave the most lasting legacies are the ones who keep going when it seems like the world is telling them to stop. They know that perseverance is not just about surviving, it's about thriving despite the obstacles. Every great success story has a chapter that includes struggle, adversity, and failure. But those who build a legacy don't let those chapters define them. They use them as fuel. They understand that it's not about avoiding hardships. It's about how you rise when they come. Every time you persevere, you're proving something not just to the world, but to yourself. You're proving that you're stronger than anything life throws at you. And here's another thing. Perseverance doesn't just apply to the big moments. It's in the small, everyday choices you make. The decision to keep showing up, to keep working hard, to keep believing even when things seem impossible. That's where your legacy is built. It's not just about the grand moments of success. It's about the consistency, the effort, and the refusal to quit. Those little moments add up, and over time, they create a legacy of unwavering persistence. So, as you go after your goals, as you chase your dreams, and as you build the life you want, remember this: perseverance is the key to leaving a lasting impact. Don't be afraid of the challenges. Don't be afraid of the setbacks. Embrace them. Keep moving forward and know that every time you do, you're building a legacy that will inspire others to keep going no matter what. Your legacy will be one of strength, determination, and the refusal to quit. And that's what makes it truly unforgettable.